Hey guys, Will here, you're watching Boosted Autos, and in today's episode we're going to be installing the carbon fibre and Alcantara M Performance trim kit into my M235i. So the kit comes with all the pieces that you need to change the trim on this side, the opposing vent piece, which is sort of just this shape on the other side as well, the replacement part for the armrest controls as well, so the iDrive controls here, as well as the door trims as well. Now, a couple of optional extras as well, which you can get, which I have purchased, but I won't cover in this video. I'll do a separate video, is the gear boot trim and shift lever as well. So I'm going to be changing those as well, but I'll do that in a separate video because I wanted to keep this video specific to just the pieces that come in the trim kit normally. So we'll get started on it. All right, so we'll start off with the door trims first. So we'll take our plastic removal tool, and you can see there's a little slot underneath here. So we just put the tool in there. Alright, so there's a little hook bit at the bottom there that you kind of just got to slide down and come off. So that was actually pretty tricky. Some of those little clips around the outside are pretty stiff, so you've got to kind of release these clips as well as you go. Simple, so very, very easy to install the new one. A lot harder to get the old one off, and that is a really, really nice clean fit. Everything looks perfect and factory. So we'll continue on to the other door. Alright, so that whole thing comes out pretty easily. The easiest way is to use your non-marking pry tool and just kind of pry at the bottom, and the whole thing pops out. Now what we need to do now is actually remove the vent from the assembly, because the new one is just this piece. So all we need to do is just kind of pull it out like that, and the whole thing removes. So lining the bottom tabs up. Slot it in. Clicks into place, easy. So this side works pretty much exactly the same way as the other side. In fact, it's even a little bit easier because you can get your hand in behind it. So all you do is you just kind of pull out on the edge here, open the glove box as well, so you've got a bit more leverage, and then just kind of pull from the underneath, and it'll all just come away. Just be very careful when you pull it out that you don't pull this way and bend it that way. You want to kind of be pulling out straight so you don't end up bending anything along here. And you can see on the back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clips are all that's holding it in place. So it's very easy to take out. Again, we just need to move the vent across as well. So all you do to do that, push down on this bit of plastic here, which is quite soft, and the whole thing just kind of tilts out and unclips. And then you do the exact reverse process here. So you clip in these bottom tabs along here, and then you just rock it into position and push it in. Now be very, very careful when you're doing this that you don't split the plastic welds here and here, because that breaks very, very easily from what I've heard. So just be very careful, take your time, be gentle. Obviously you want to be very careful you don't do any damage to the clips here as well. So once that's all done, set the old one aside. So again, very easy to install. Just kind of line all the pins up first before you start pushing to make sure everything's in alignment. Put it on the top and then just kind of push it in. Don't need to put a whole lot of force in there, but the clips that are on this side are a little bit stiff, so just be aware of that. But everything's functioning normally. Now we move on to the iDrive control. Okay, so with this piece, the first important thing to note is that you're not removing this part along here. You're removing the silver part only. So if you look at the replacement one, you can see there's a hard edge there. You're not replacing any of this. So in the case of this piece, all we're doing is undoing all these little clips here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then there's a part up here that kind of pulls out that way. So obviously we don't want to pull upwards. It's kind of hard because it's going to be tight in that area up there anyway, but want to make sure we undo the clips like that and then pull it that way and out. So we'll set this one aside. Now, you might have a little bit of trouble getting your plastic trim tool between the two edges because it is a very, very, very tight gap there. I'm having trouble with mine. So what I'm going to do is use a really, really, really thinnest screwdriver I can possibly find and just insert it in the corner here where it's the most inconspicuous spot, just to get the edge lifted a little bit, enough to slide under my plastic trim tool, and then we'll work our way from there. There we go. Work our way along. Easy. So that popped. Slide it back. Now don't reef it off because we do have some cables underneath here which we'll need to disconnect very carefully. So it's a really short little wiring harness there and the plug doesn't seem to want to come out easily. I'm really worried about snapping those legs off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Torx screwdriver and just undo this. So it's a T20 screw, so undo it. Obviously be very, very careful we don't drop it down into the panel. 2 more screws. And just make sure you hold on to your iDrive knob. Take the screw out and the whole iDrive knob will slot out like so. Work the clips into position. And job complete. Alright guys, so that is a wrap for this video. As you can see here, I've installed the trim here. Haven't installed the gear knob one yet, but that's going to be in another video, both of those, so stay tuned for that. But for now, that's what the rest of the kit looks like. I can see my OCD is going to go nuts with the Alcantara here, always making sure it's all massaged in the same direction. But that's my problem, not yours. But very, very simple to install the trims. No real problems at all. The only thing I did do was cut my hand a little bit on the aluminium when I was pulling this one out with my bare hands. So maybe put on gloves to pull these out if you're doing it by hand. But look, just take your time, be patient with it. The only tricky part I'd say was just getting this part installed, simply because the wiring is so short on it. Now, I'm sure you can undo that little blue plug, but I just felt like I was going to break it by trying. I thought there was more chance of breaking the wires or breaking the plug by trying to undo it than there was by just being really, really careful and doing it in situ. Now, the screws 1, 2, and 3 are quite tight, so you do need to be careful, and I did have to use that little ratchet, as you saw in the video, to do those up. But look, as long as you've got all the right tools, the T20 Torx bit, the non-marring pry tool, which is absolutely essential. You definitely want to have these because that will stop you from damaging any of your plastics. Other than that, it's all very simple and straightforward. So look guys, that's it for this video. I hope you found the video interesting and useful. Do make sure you stay tuned for the next one where we'll be showing you how to install that gear boot trim and shift knob. But look, in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if it's been helpful, and I will see you next time. Bye.